Welcome back to our weekly research teachings. This time we're going to kick off by discussing theoretical frameworks or theory, literature review, and academic rhetoric. There are three golden threads that are infused in your thesis from chapter 1 to the very last chapter. And the first golden thread is your research questions. Each chapter needs to show how whatever you are talking about or writing about is linked to your research questions. You point out these research questions in the first chapter. In the second chapter, when you are critiquing your literature or critiquing the theories of your work, you are critiquing these in relation to the research questions. When you are writing a methodology, you are basically addressing the research questions. When you are writing up your results chapter, you are now informing your reader what you found around your research questions. When you write your final chapter, you interpret your findings. You are interpreting these findings around the research questions. The second golden thread is your theoretical lens. When all is done and dusted, the examiner is interested in knowing what contributions have you made to knowledge. That is why it takes so long to conceptualize, to come up with research questions, because you need to have read thoroughly and crafted your questions so that they are researchable and they have a scientific basis. This theoretical lens is where you have located one or two or more or all your research questions, because you don't want to ask research questions that are not related. So your theoretical lens is going to feature in chapter 1, it's going to feature in chapter 2, because the literature review is actually literature related to your theory or to aspects of your theory. Of course, you don't write about every aspect of a theory, because theory is normally expansive. You want to zone in on a concept or a variable. Now, how does theory feature in your methodology? It does feature because your questions that you have posed are based on theory, and the methodology is how to unravel these paradoxes that you saw in literature. And of course, the last chapter is where you conclude and explain how you contribute to new knowledge. The third golden thread is your worldview. What we said last year is your epistemology and your ontological view. And I just want to explain that sometimes some ontologies are infused with the epistemology, but we spent a lot of time last year talking about epistemology and ontology. Just to simplify matters this year, just remember that what we really mean is your worldview. Because when you're a scholar, you have a worldview, you have a position. And that's why when I talk about arguments, I will talk about what is an issue and what is your position in that issue. And that position is usually informed by your own worldview and also by your own understanding of what is written around that particular issue. Let's pause there for today. I wish you well. See you next week. All the best.